Hi, everyone. My name is Marlene White. Let's get started. Welcome. So, the first thing I want to do is introduce myself. My name is Marlene. I have been in education for 17 years. I am bilingual. I have my national board certification and I have my master's in educational leadership. So, it's just one way that I like to challenge myself and continue to grow as an educator and learn the new research that's out there. I'm just so thankful for that and for people who really pour into that new research. But as you can see in that little tiny picture, I do have 6 kids. Some are adopted and some are biological. And the cool thing about them is that they are now adults. 3 of them. The twins will be a freshman, and the 4 older are off on their own. And the little girl, my little mama, she is now going to be a freshman next year. So if that's how I want to love your kids. I love my kids, and I just want to be there and support your kids. Well, in order to do that, I have a couple of principles that I live by. Just continuing that ongoing communication of listening to one another, collaborating and sharing those ideas and sharing those needs that your student may present throughout the year. And then honor one another and support each other's differences and our strengths. You were the first educator to your child. I just want to be here alongside and support you. The last thing is we all have differences and we all have strengths, and just how do we value that? So honor, value, collaborate and communicate. Let's begin. So this process is going to be reviewing that data. What did your child score? How do we mash that and mesh it and look for those state standards that your student needs to be ready for second grade? He's already mastered some. So what is it that he's lacking or needing or missing? Then the third thing is create that growth plan based on your students' needs. And then finally review growth and progress. But we'll always come back to step one after each progress monitoring and make sure that we are on target to where he needs to be. All right. The first thing I want to do with you is analyze that STAR report. So, what does that look like? What does that sound like? And how can we use it? The lovely thing about this, it is color coded, and you can see that your child is at 895. What that means, right, is that your child is on benchmark. Your child can read before reading at that Lexile range, before reading 135 to 15L. Those are the books that he can read comfortably. Now, obviously, we're going to get him some books that he's interested in and challenge him. So hang on. The next thing I want to do is absolutely digest that STAR report. These are the 4 things that I'm going to focus this lesson on. If I know that that's where he's reading, I'm going to make sure I bring those books that are comfortable but yet enough challenging. Then we're going to look at some vocabulary words and really dig into what is the meaning and extend that vocabulary so that they're ready for that 100 million words a year challenge. Then there's that phonics and word study. This lesson is really going to be focused on CVC with the final E sound and really be able to manipulate and make those words that have that final consonant blend. Your child is ready for this. Critical reading. Anytime you're reading or I'm reading, we're going to look for key details and ask those 5 W's. If you don't know what those 5 W's are, don't forget to ask me at the end because there'll be time for you to ask me who, what, when, where, why. All right. The last thing I want to make sure we do is instructional strategies. I believe in the whole child. I want to make sure that it is brain-based and brain-based research. I want to make sure that my students are interested and that we challenge them with their learning styles. Some like to learn with their hands. Some like to hear it with songs. And then I definitely want to incorporate those 5 senses because we know what the brain does when they're learning with 5 senses. I want to make sure I modify my strategies to whatever the needs are of our child. Then the last thing, I want to make sure that it's relevant and culturally tailored to your community. And so this is how I want to support you. Please let me know if you have any additional questions. I'm excited to work with your kid and really dive in.